Hi everyone! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is an author who has written 2 books titled 20 Boy Problems and The Summer I Turned Pretty. The book that we will be discussing today is her young adult romance novel titled They Both Die at the End. I've read this book myself several times and I really like it, so I'm excited to share some quotes with you guys. Before we dive in though, please make sure to subscribe if you love books. Make sure to hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. If you end up enjoying this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up because it tells me that you enjoy videos like this and helps others find this video as well. Let's get started. Okay, so this first quote that I'm going to read for you guys is actually from the very beginning of the story, and it introduces one of the major themes of this book, which is death. Death isn't always a bad thing. We might be scared of it, but it can also lead to new beginnings, new adventures, and meeting new people. This is how the story starts. So let me read the first couple of paragraphs for you guys. One day you receive a text from someone called the Grim Reaper. You don't know the person. In fact, you've never received a text from this person before. What does it say? You have 1 day left to live. Here's the thing. Most of us are obsessed with living forever. We're terrified of growing old and we try everything we can to stay young. So I found it interesting that this story starts off with death rather than birth or youth. And by doing this, it immediately creates a sense of urgency and encourages us to value the present moment. Here's the next part of the text. It's rare for the Reaper to send out these texts, so it must be important. And the fact that you got one means that this is your chance to do something extraordinary, something amazing, something beautiful. It could be the best day of your entire life. The only way to make it last is if you share it with someone. That's the deal. No exceptions. So the narrator tells us that our final day alive does unnecessarily have to be a sad thing. Rather, it could be the best day of our lives. This sets the tone for the entire book. Instead of dreading death, the author challenges us to embrace it as an opportunity for growth and It reminds us that our final moments could be our greatest adventure. An adventure that leads to new beginnings, new experiences, and discovering who we truly are. Okay, moving on to our next quote. This one stuck out to me because it talks about following your heart and staying true to yourself. The main character, Mateo Torres, has been given 1 day to live. Instead of wasting it away, worrying or regretting past decisions, he decides to follow his heart and confess his feelings to the boy he likes. He puts aside societal norms and prejudice and goes after what truly matters to him. This quote really resonated with me because it has a reminder that life is unpredictable and we should unwaste it conforming to societal expectations or holding back. So here's a quote. If you're scared, Mateo told him, it doesn't mean you're gay. It means you're scared. There's a difference. So Mateo says that being scared doesn't define who you are. Being scared is not the same thing as being gay. These words hold deep meaning and challenge societal norms and stereotypes. Coming out is a deeply personal journey and one that shouldn't be defined or limited by fear. So whether it's coming out as gay or pursuing your dreams, it's important to remember that fear and reality are 2 different things. By recognizing this, we can better understand ourselves and the courage it takes to be true to who we are. Okay, moving on to our next quote. This one talks about identity and how it's not something that's always easy to discover and accept. At the start of this story, Mateo isn't quite sure who he is. He's unsure of his identity and his place in the world. However, as he spends his final day alive with Rufus, he begins to learn more about himself and what truly matters to him. This quote showcases the importance of self-discovery and accepting who you are. So here's the quote. But you don't have to figure out who you are right now. You don't have to figure it out ever. You can just sit with your feet in the grass and be whoever you want to be for a few hours. No labels, no expectations. Just be. So the narrator says that you need to figure out who you are, and you have to label yourself. Sometimes it's okay just to be yourself without any labels or expectations. Self-discovery is a lifelong journey, and there's no rush to figure everything out immediately. This quote celebrates the freedom to explore your identity without limitations and encourages embracing the present moment. Life is too short to conform to societal norms and expectations. Instead, we should prioritize authenticity and self-acceptance above all else. So, moving on to our next quote. This one talks about the power of friendship and how a friend can help us see the beauty in life. Even when we're feeling down or hopeless, a good friend will always lift you up and remind you of your worth. Here's a quote. I don't want to die. I want to keep living. I want to keep living to spend all my days with you. I want to grow old with you. I want to be with you even if you're ugly and grumpy and old. So in this quote, Mateo tells Rufus that he doesn't want to die and he wants to keep living. He wants to continue living to spend every day with Rufus. This shows that Mateo finds joy and happiness in their friendship, and he values their bond so much that he wants to keep experiencing life with Rufus by his side. This quote highlights the importance of cherishing friendships and appreciating the people who bring joy and meaning to our lives. Friendships can be a source of strength, happiness, and support, and we should appreciate and nurture our friendships as much as possible. Okay, moving on to our next quote. This one emphasizes the importance of seizing the moment and living life to the fullest. Don't let opportunities pass you by because you never know what tomorrow may bring. Take action and go after what you want. So here's the quote. What if you only have one day left to live? Would you spend it hanging out with your crush? Would you tell them how you really feel? Would you grab them by the collar and kiss them? Yes, of course. Do you really think I am gone? Nah, let the sun set on my senior year without telling you. So the narrator asks these rhetorical questions to encourage readers to seize the moment. They ask what we would do if we only had one day left to live and encourage us to act on our desires and emotions. They talk about having the courage to tell their crush how they feel and express themselves fully. This quote serves as a reminder to not let opportunities pass us by and to take action towards the things that matter most to us. And that brings us to our final quote, which highlights the importance of expressing your feelings and being honest about how you feel. You never know how much time you have left with someone, so don't hold back. Say what you need to say and let your loved ones know how you feel. So here's the final quote. I'm scared of losing you. You'll lose me. Everyone eventually loses someone. It's unavoidable. But it's not about avoiding that, he said. It's about living while you have someone to lose. It's about loving while you have someone to love. So Rufus says that while we can't avoid losing someone eventually, we shouldn't focus on that. Rather, we should focus on living while we have someone to love and cherish those relationships while we can. So the message is clear. Don't let fear or the uncertainty of the future stop you from living in the present. Express your feelings. Be honest and true to yourself and those you love. And never stop believing in the power of love and human connection. That's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe if you love books, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!